All right, we are kicking things off in the kitchen this morning with Chef Laura from Celebrated Cuisine. You were dancing to Elmo and Cookie Monster, weren't you?
I was, and I'm a chef, so Cookie Monster, I think there's like a connection.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I do. I can see him coming over and having a little bite of what we're cooking today. What are we cooking? It smells delicious.
Well, I'd like to say that your show inspired me for this dish.
Really?
Well, Sonoran
we try to do that to everybody out there.
Well, and so here we go. So I created a Sonoran shrimp dish.
Okay.
And that's what I'm calling it because we're using flavors of the Southwest, but also it's a take on what people in the U.S. call shrimp scampi, which actually, a little education, scampi is Italian for lobster. And
really?
So when we say shrimp scampi here, we're kind of saying shrimp lobster, but the name of the menu item basically connotes that we have shrimp that has garlic and butter and a little bit of olive oil. So what we need to do for this dish is, I kind of did my spin, right? So we're going to use some different ingredients. So what I'm doing right now is I'm marinating our shrimp right here in a little bit of unsalted butter that was melted, combined with extra virgin olive oil, so not an ingredient you would normally find in the Sonoran, if you will, for using as an oil, and then garlic and a little bit of lime juice. So in scampi, you would have lemon juice. So
I've heard that we had a chef on yesterday who had from the Queen Creek olive mill the lime.
The lime olive oil.
So that could work too, right?
Yes, and actually, I use their olive oils quite a bit in all of my cuisine as well. So just to have grabbed a different one for today. So I have that marinated. It's going to marinate for about 30 minutes at room temperature. And then what we'll do when we come back is we're going to do a saute with this in the pan. But the other ingredients that we're using for this dish that you'll see is poblano pepper. So this is a poblano. It's somewhere between a jalapeno and a sweet bell pepper in terms of its heat. So it doesn't have the same like punch as a jalapeno would, but it really imparts some really good flavor to it.
All right, I'll try it.
Okay, so we're doing that, and the one I minced up actually had a little bit of red going in it. Okay, so I thought that would add some pretty color to the dish.
The more red, does it change the flavor or the intensity of the heat?
It's a little bit hotter, actually, I think.
Okay.
So great question.
I know a lot of people know this. A lot of times on Twitter, people go, duh, but I'm not a cook, so you may know the answer, but I don't, so I want to find out.
I wouldn't go with duh. I would go, great question, and
Thank
yes,
you.
It does provide a little bit more heat, so no problem with that. And then also, like I said, some lime juice, but we are also going to finish with some green onion that we just chopped up, and this cheese, okay? This is cotija. And cotija is known in both the Latin cuisine as well as Spanish. So it's got a lot of versatility. As you can see,
and it's mild,
up.
right? It's a mild flavor?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of feta a little bit, but it also has a kind of a good salty element. So, if you want to taste this at some point, it's absolutely fantastic. And it has a really nice meltability factor, too. So we'll break down just a little bit in our dish. And then, of course, last but not least, because I'm doing this as a fusion type of thing, is I have some linguini. So the one thing I wanted to share with our viewers is that this dish could actually be prepared in the morning in terms of marination and the pasta being cooked off, etc. And then just before you're ready to eat, when your family comes to the table, you can put the whole dish together literally in about 5 or 6 minutes.
Now, would you keep this in water or just put it right in the fridge just like that?
No, what I did, I cooked this. I actually cooked this last night. I drained it, tossed it with a tiny bit of olive oil, let it cool, and then I just put it in the bowl. And as you can see, it comes apart beautifully, so it doesn't stick together or anything.
All right, mine doesn't, so I'm going to have to find out the secret. Mine's like this big, hard blob.
Oh, well.
I must be doing something wrong. You think?
No, I don't think so. We'll fix that. We can totally work on that. So we're going to get that going in the next segment. And then for dessert, we're also going to be making some chocolate chili truffle bites today. So a little bit of brownie meets truffle meets heat.
Okay.
So it couldn't be more sweet than that.
Okay, great. Well, when we come back, we're going to get things started, and it's going to start smelling up this yummy, yummy kitchen. So thank you, Chef Laura. We will be back to you in just a few minutes, in about 30 minutes for part 2.